Hi there, time for class project. In last lesson you learned about how to create dripping paint text effect, and in this class project you have to apply your skill. You learned about dripping paint text effect, and here is my output for class project 8, and you have to create a dripping paint text effect in class project 8. So let's take a look in our PDF file, because PDF file will help us a lot to complete the class project. You will get different steps and direction how to complete the class project, or you can take a look on the last lesson to how to create dripping paint text effect. So let's take a look on PDF file about our class project 8. Okay, here is the PDF file, and the name of our class project is dripping paint text effect. So let's follow the steps. So at first we have to go for image. Use image from exercise file, or you can use your own created image, or you can use unsplash.com. Okay, so let me turn off this 2 layer and let me turn on the background layer. I used this image. This is an image of a number of apples. So I used this image for creating dripping paint text effect. This image already given in our exercise file, so you can use it, or you can use any of your image, or you can download some new images from unsplash.com. Okay, so let's take a look on next step. Okay, the next step is duplicate layer. Duplicate background layer in layer panel and renamed as dripping paint. Okay, here is the background layer. You can take a look, and you have to duplicate this background layer, and you have to rename the new duplicated layer as dripping paint. So here is my dripping paint layer, and this layer I have duplicated from the background layer. Okay, next step is text. Type single text or alphabet. You can type S. So you have to use the type tool. Here is the type tool, and you have to use a single alphabet. So as I wrote S, so you can write any alphabet. You can type your own name's alphabet, so depend on you. And as an example, you can take a look. Here is the S alphabet I used, so you can type any alphabet you want. Okay, the next step is layer placement. Put dripping paint layer at top and place text layer at middle, and put background layer at bottom. Okay, once you will create the text layer, then a text layer will be appeared in layer panel. So you have to put dripping paint layer at top, then you have to put text layer at middle, and then you have to place background layer at bottom. So this is the sequence for placement of layer inside the layer panel. Okay, then turn off background layer. You have to turn off the background layer inside the layer panel, and then create clipping mask. So when you place dripping paint layer at top, and when you place a text layer at middle, then you have to select the dripping paint layer, and then you have to create a clipping mask using dripping paint layer. Then the apple image will be placed inside the text. You know how to create clipping mask, because we learned about clipping mask in many tutorials. Okay, let's take a look on next step. Okay, then convert 2 layer into smart object. After create clipping mask, select dripping paint layer and text layer, and convert that 2 layer into smart object. Okay, you can take a look. This dripping paint layer, actually it's a smart object, and here is the symbol of smart object. You have to select text layer and dripping paint layer at once, then you have to convert that 2 layer into smart object after creating the clipping mask. Okay, next part is add solid color. Add a black solid color and place solid color layer in between dripping paint and background layer. Place solid color next to background layer. Okay, you can take a look. Here is a solid color layer. You have to add a solid color. You can add a solid color from here. Here is the option for adding solid color. This is the option. Once you will create or add a solid color, you will have a layer like that, and you have to rename the layer, and you have to place the solid color layer after the dripping paint layer. So the sequence will be dripping paint layer will be at top, then you have to place the solid color layer, and finally you have to put the background layer. Okay, next step is liquify filter. Make sure dripping paint layer is selected and use liquify filter and use forward warp tool for make dripping paint effect. Okay, you have to select this dripping paint layer, then you have to go for filter menu, and here is the liquify option. Okay, once you will click the liquify option, you have to use the forward warp tool, and using the forward warp tool you have to change the images inside the text, and you have to make a mixture of an apple using the forward warp tool, and then you have to add the dripping paint effect, I mean the form of dripping paint. Here is one, here is one, and we added number of dripping paint style in here. So you have to do all the things using forward warp tool and liquify filter. Okay, next step is add bevel and emboss. Add bevel and emboss on text. Okay, you can take a look. We got nice bevel and emboss in text, and if you take a look inside the layer panel, we got the bevel and emboss added with the dripping paint layer. And once you complete making the dripping paint style using liquify filter, then you have to add bevel and emboss. If you apply bevel and emboss in this text, then this will be look more attractive than before. So bevel and emboss applying is one of the good practice in Adobe Photoshop for improving your design. And the final step is output. Save the image in JPEG format. Okay, once you will complete creating dripping paint text effect, then you have to save this image in JPEG format, and I have added my output of dripping paint text effect with this PDF file. So I have a request, please do share your class project work with me. Once you complete the creating of dripping paint text effect, please share your work with me. I am really excited to take a look your class project.